Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome to another surprise Salliekat livestream! Coming back to Avernum 1. I've been away from this series for more than a month now, and want to get back in the habit of recording this. Anyway, while I wait for people to trickle in, I'm going to use some of this no viewers time to get some training in. I did spend a little bit of time off camera just reacquainting myself with my inventory, what I've been up to in this game. Okay, so Geetha is one of my fighters. Everyone does have a pretty good pile of skill points. At some point I'm going to run out of useful things to train Geetha in, so I'm probably going to give her some priest training. Barter's always useful. Meanwhile, it takes a little bit longer for the magic users to get up to maximum. Okay. Let me see here. So I'm in Almeria. Oh, inventory. I should go over that. So Geetha has Scroll of Spray Acid, Paralysis, some useful potions, Steel Small Shield, Fine Lockpicks. Jay's got a wand, healing potions, various ranged weapons, food. Magrat has a couple wands of Fireball, or Bolt of Fire, rather. More useful potions, a Crystal Charm, which I thought was going to be useful for Magrat, but she already has the Crystal Shield. So, who else would I like to be petrification-proofed? Jay's already got a necklace. Can I wear a ring, a bracelet, and a necklace at the same time? How about that? I can. And also I've checked, and basically everyone who can hold a shield has a pretty good one. So I've just got an extra steel small shield floating around now. Esme's got some potentially useful wands, another scroll, an icy longsword. I think I found this recently. I do not remember where. It does good damage. The weapon is constantly covered with magical frost, which makes its blows do more damage. And I feel like I'm not getting a whole lot out of the poison from the Assassin's Dagger, so... Then we've got a couple of Mind Crystals, Spirit Call and Venom Foe. And of course, using the info button on the Mind Crystals tells me it has some strange mysterious ability, but I can't quite figure out what. So if I hit use, Venom Foe can teach me natural curing. Merely by concentrating, you can purge yourself of disease and poison. This ability works once per day. The higher your level, the better the effect. Yeah, once per day curing on one person is honestly a lot less desirable to me than having the cure and mass cure spells. I will give her the ability to summon spirits, though. Just 'cause. But yeah, the Mind Crystal and the Dagger will be getting sold off next time I find a good shop. Which they're really should be in Almeria. Okay, Here, Dexter. You're a thiefy type. Can I sell you some ill-gotten goods? I can. Ooh, Assassin's Dagger sells for a lot. Okay, so training done, inventory slightly managed. I still have kind of a lot of gold, so I think I'm gonna head over to Darman and see if I can buy some more spells. I also see that there's a bit more exploring I can do in this region. Can't do anything with the cows that are following me around. I saw a little bit of unexplored territory back here, which makes me think maybe there's a secret passage. Maybe not. Though I don't know, this stalactite area looks pretty conspicuous. You keep watch for the basilisks you were told about in Almeria. Fortunately, or unfortunately, you find them. There's a group of fat, slow lizards to the south. They look harmless, but you know better. Fortunately, half my party is immune to their gaze now. So we attack. Okay, they targeted the ones without any crystal artifacts, and I still resisted. Hooray! Also, I gotta say, I'm very disappointed in javelins as compared to arrows. Lizards have nothing. The basilisks are dead. The people of Almeria will no doubt be very grateful. And I thank you, game, for the reminder that that was a side quest to be turned in Almeria. That's not the way I want to go. Hostile monsters. Oh, gremlins. Yay. Fortunately, I can still end combat while people are charmed. Who wanted this quest? Probably the mayor? We killed the basilisks, as you requested. Bevan looks surprised. You did it? You actually killed them? Good heavens, I just gave you that task to get rid of you. Still, I suppose that a bargain is a bargain. He fetches a heavy pouch of copper coins. Still, assassins are not welcome here in Almeria. I hope you're thinking of moving on soon. Now I am very busy. He nervously returns to his papers. Okay, I got some levels, some XP, and some money. Good deal. Also, calling me assassins? I haven't assassinated anyone important yet. I've killed a lot of Nephilim and Slith Zerakai and human bandits, and various lizards. Large group of traveling merchants? Sure. Oh, I could buy weird meat. Delightful. Another wand of bolts. Eh? These wandering merchants are sometimes a good opportunity to sell off extra stuff, but very rarely have anything I want to buy. I wish I could set up my silent keyboard with this computer, but unfortunately it's Mac compatible and apparently not Windows. Nothing lives in this lake. It's a deep, foul-smelling pool of sulphurous water, fresh from the spring to the north. It is surrounded by yellow, crusty deposits. And I can't get at the island in the middle yet. I do need to go and get the Orb of Thralney at some point. Okay, I thought there was a tiny lizard or something here, but it's just a weird little bit in the rubble graphic. The cows are still following me. What are they doing? Ha! Someone has carved a crude sword design into the wall here. Hey there, Leafy Nebula. Glad to see someone dropping in. Doing a surprise stream at this time of night, I wasn't sure I'd get much of an audience. The hidden tunnel is interrupted in a dark, swiftly flowing river, extending to the north and south far beyond the range of your light. The tunnel continues to the east. Fortunately, someone has erected a small, crude bridge over the river. The wide gallery ends in a cramped tunnel heading into the chasm wall. There are dried bloodstains on the ground nearby. The tunnel ends in a cave which was once the home for about 8 soldiers. The bodies of these soldiers are arranged neatly across the floor. They have been dead for some time, and all died violently. 2 things immediately grab your interest. First, the soldiers wear the uniforms of the Surface Army, the Empire. Second, there is a message, painted on the wall in blood. Such is the fate of all above who threw us down, the Scimitar. The Scimitar? You wonder who that is. A cursory search reveals that the killers did little looting. You find a scattering of coins, from both the surface world and Avernum, and a small flask. I get an elixir. Ooh, I think a haste elixir because I already had the healing. Very nice. Already explored this chunk of map pretty well. This hill is a gigantic fumarole. Boiling, steaming, sulphurous water shoots from a nearby crevice and pours down to the south. The ground is covered with thick yellow deposits. The air reeks of rotten eggs. Someone has built a hut at the top of this hill. You aren't sure who would choose to live in a place like this. Sign says, Fumarole Plateau. Don't drink the water. There is a small tower at the top of this hill, looking down on the sulphur marsh. Sulfulor? I think he was trying to write either sulphur or sulphurous and got mixed up. Looking down on the sulphurous marshes below. It is surrounded by a small, neat mushroom garden. Patches of brightly colored mold and lichen brighten up the walls and paths. The plants grow very well in this smelly, harsh environment. Lots of minerals. Hi there, Nathan. A striking woman with a broad smile and long, braided, snowy white hair opens the door. Ah, customers! It's been so long. I am Silverlock. Come in for tea and to sample my wares. You won't be disappointed. We could attack, but that would be very foolish to do. The witch sits you down with tea and cookies and chats brightly with you for an hour or 2. The cookies are made of crushed, dried mushrooms, without benefit of anything sweet. Ick. Then she drags out her supply of potions and tries to sell them to you. They bubble and hiss at you. So, if we're not supposed to drink the water, is the water made consumable by boiling it for brewing in tea and potions? I really hope so. Or that she's been able to do some sort of alchemical straining of getting the sulfur out. Silverlock lives in a grim, dead, foul-smelling area, where she works in solitude to craft some of the finest potions in Avernum. Yeah, we've got Resistance Elixir, Knowledge Brew, Restoration Brew, Protection Brew, and Heroic Brew. And we'll have to go to the skills screen to actually see what all of these do specifically, but fairly self-explanatory. Resistance will give you elemental and or magic resistance. Knowledge Brew increases skill points. Very nice. Restoration Brew, I imagine, refills health and spell points to full. Protection Brew is powerful shielding. Heroic Brew, I think, would be really good blessing. Let's see. Potions. When did I get the recipe for Restoration Brew? Restoration Brew heals all damage and removes practically all damaging conditions. Good. Protection Brew shields user from all damage, basically invulnerability potion. And Heroic Brew turns its imbiber into an amazing fighting machine. Drink it quickly. The taste is disgusting beyond human comprehension. Apparently that one leaves the sulfur in. Alchemical process is distillation. Yes, thank you. I knew there was a word for it. Giant pit. Okay, I've explored some of Darman. Interesting. I guess technically I'm not supposed to know about some of the stuff that's up in the northern half here. Yaha. That's what I wanted. More spells. Apparently, the last time I came to Darman, I couldn't afford all of these. Or potentially I didn't have the mage skills level. Anyway. I will learn Fire Blast, I will learn Beast Ceremony, and I will learn Summonade even though I'm probably not going to use it. Level 2 spells get expensive. And apparently she wants me to search the Tower of Magi library for a copy of the Valorum Bestiary. Okay. The one thing that I wish could have been updated in this game is it doesn't have a quest list like every other Avernum game. And Malville. Do you have any priest spells I don't have yet? Okay, I can improve Sanctuary and control foes, but I kind of don't want to because I never use them. Well, maybe control foes. It's pretty cheap. Wait, I didn't actually have control foes yet? Like I said, I never use it. Okay, so if I want to learn Raise Dead, I need to go north of Fort Dranlon. Now Esme can do massive fire damage. And Beast Ceremony is the equivalent of Major Blessing in this game. Very good to have. Lizards. This is a flock of giant lizards that have been declawed and defanged, the usual practice. A young shepherd looks after the reptiles. He watches them carefully and pokes them with his staff to keep them in line. And I want to see if there's anything new at Shaney's Bazaar. Ooh. Oh, maybe this does actually refresh once in a while. Because I don't remember seeing a Mage's Bracelet or Dragonskin Cloak here before. Mage's Bracelet helps the wearer cast stronger mage spells. Dragonskin Cloak prevents a little extra damage and provides protection from fire. And I can't afford both of them, even though that will knock out most of the rest of my gold. So, okay, Gith has got a Blessed Cloak. Magrat has a Dragonskin Cloak. And Esme has a Blessed one. Yeah, I think I'm going to buy Dragonskin Cloak and Mage's Bracelet, both for Esme. Also, I can sell stuff here if I want to. It's also possible that that inventory was basically the same as last time I came here, and I just don't remember. Now everyone has magical cloaks. Hooray! I thought there was a spell I could buy here, because I looked up a guide to where the spells are pretty recently. But either I already bought it or I haven't triggered it yet. Also, I want to visit Fort Remote while I have a good opportunity to. You are in a sparse forest of the scraggly, twisted trees that grow in Avernum. They, combined with the poisonous mushrooms growing in abundance, provide a grim and hostile landscape. There are a lot of stumps. A lot of trees have been cut down. This is probably the main source of wood for the area. Seems like it would be a bit of a hike to take the wood from here back to any town. Somewhat hazardous with the gremlins around, too. Are those lava bats? No, those are imps. What are you doing here? Very annoying, but at least they're weak. Unfortunately, so is Smite. Hehehe, new spells. Aw, you didn't drop anything. The sign is barely readable because of the moss and mold. Where am? There's a ruined farm here. The mushroom crops have decomposed into a foul-smelling mire. There is a small, smoky fire by the ruined farmhouse. A lone man sits on a bedroll by the fire. He jumps up when he sees you approach, hand on his weapon. Then, when he realizes you aren't bandits or gremlins, he relaxes and welcomes you. Welcome, I am Alexi. It's so good to see a human face. I've been out here a week, and the food was starting to run out. I had a lot, but there are gremlins about. Oh, the problems I've had. You sit and talk to him for a while. He eventually explains the nature of his troubles. I'm a messenger. I carry important messages from fort to fort. I was carrying a valuable missive from Fort Remote to the castle. Then disaster struck. Gremlins attacked me and the guards I was with. We got away, but the message disappeared. If they find out I lost it, I'll get jailed. The guards left me with a bunch of food, and I went looking. The gremlins have a lair to the south. I think they took it there. Excuse me. Gremlins aren't tough. Just very, very annoying. If you could go there and get that message for me, I'd reward you well. I can do that, believe me. But please help. Also, apparently the gremlins will still steal food in the lore, but not in the actual game mechanics. Bee grins. As you walk down the tunnel, you hear manic, high-pitched laughter echoing back and forth through the narrow tunnels. I'm not quite mentally prepared to deal with that just yet. This whole area is one enormous ruin. It seems that, at one point, some people tried to form a town here. You find ruined stone cottages, shells of farms, and ragged patches of edible mushrooms, choked out by the abundant toadstools. It looks like everything of value was probably cleaned out long ago. You don't have time to search the entire ruin. Though with dialogue like that, it's entirely possible that someone will tell me to go look for something specific, if I do a side quest or something. Also, I feel like the overworld feels just a little bit smaller than it did in Exile. I think that's mostly because I can see more of it on the main play area, because the map looks about the same size as Exile, just isometric instead of top-down. And for no particular reason, let's explore Fort Remote. Fort Remote. Please don't startle guards. And the guards don't talk to me, because basically no guards in this game do. Archer counts as a guard. Talking to Tezik. A man wearing a large ankh and a subdued expression sits at his desk playing solitaire. Sorry to interrupt, but can you tell me where the fort captain is? I'm I sort of give some orders here. It's not like there are many to give, but when they come up, I give them. Things get rather tedious, I'm afraid. Life here is tedious. Oh yes, this fort was built before the big wars with the Sliths and Nephilim. We were afraid of attacks from the tunnels to the west. But hardly anything lives in there, and the things that do really don't do much, so we have nothing to guard against. To stave off madness, we busy ourselves with other activities. Such as? Well, I play solitaire. He waves at the desk. I've played thousands of games. 1, 2. Pointless, really. Then, we all take part in the standard pointless love affairs, have meals, exercise, have sing-alongs. Well, you get the idea. And we act hospitable to the occasional visitor. Breaks the monotony. A party of adventurers came through a few months back. They stayed with us a week. Much fun was had. Then they went west, and most of them got killed. Chasm Drake. Then there are merchants, messengers, supply caravans, and so on. Do you know anything about this Chasm Drake? Fearsome, deadly, wealthy, remote. It doesn't bother us, we don't bother it. Oh, you don't want to see it. It's far too fierce and dangerous. No, I guess you're right. Wise choice. Anything else interesting? No, not really. Okay, maybe we do want to see the Drake. Its lair is to the west. Be careful. It really is very dangerous. You'll know you found it when you see an enormous dragon-like creature, roaring and spouting flame, charging you. Oh joy. So what sort of orders do you usually issue? Open the gates, close the gates, open the gates a little, stop bickering, let's have dinner, that sort of thing. Yeah, Fort Remote is, in fact, rather small. They've got a barracks, a kitchen, and not a whole lot else. Talking to Bronwyn. A woman in steel plate huddles in the corner. She has a huge sword and an even bigger hangover. You look pretty hungover. You probably shouldn't let your captain see you like this. Actually, I'm the commanding officer. I boldly lead my men out here in the back end of nowhere. She delicately sips some water from a bowl. At least you get lots of rest and relaxation. Too much. I could have been at the front, dealing death to sliths and doing some good. But here I am at good old Fort Irrelevant. No fort is irrelevant on the frontier. Well, that's what we are. And the only thing that could possibly attack us is the Drake. And it keeps to itself. Mick claims he saw it. Ask him about it. As for me, I'm waiting to recover so I can resume my drinking. Aha. Don't you think you're drinking a bit hard? It's a dirty habit, but it keeps me from getting too angry. I'll get transferred someday. Okay. You're right. Your life out here does seem pointless. Glad you see it my way. Out of gratitude for your seeing things her way, she shares some of her ale with you. Hooray, we're drunk. Is there anywhere we could rest? Sure, use any empty bedroom. Keep us company. Is there anything we can do for you? Well, there's a pack of fire lizards roaming the caves to the west. They spit fire at us sometimes. If you killed them, I'd sure appreciate it. We don't have enough troops left to handle them. They're all on the slith front. You are not interesting. Talking to Belinda. You see a petite woman, oddly pretty despite her pale skin. She's adding ingredients to a boiling pot of stew. I'm the fort chef. A chef? Well, a cook, really. Could I have a taste? She runs and gets you bowls of stew. It's delicious. She flutters her eyelashes at all of you. I put extra effort into my cooking. Helps relieve everyone's tedium. Nothing has ever attacked Fort Remote. Nothing ever will. But we keep busy. I have my own hobby. She grins evilly. Just say my name to Mick. He'll be out west. Get his reaction. That's what my hobby is. I don't think there's anything back there in this game. If I really wanted to, I could cast Farsight. Anyway, Mick is out here by the gardens, fountain, pool things. He has a soldier graphic, but is one of the rare ones that will actually talk to me. You find a small, handsome man sitting and contemplating this small spring. He's eating a sandwich. What you doing? Watching the spring. That's how I pass the time. Nice spring. It sure is calm and pretty. Yup, yes sir. I heard you've seen a drake. I saw it. I did. It wanders the tunnels occasionally, and it came close. I was sitting here, and it saw me, and I saw it. I thought it was going to kill me, but it lost interest. Not hungry, I think, but it could have ate me in a second. It's huge. I hope I never see it again. Anything else live out west of here? Lots of lizards, big and small. I've even heard rumors of a dragon out there. He waves to the west. A dragon, huh? Not just the chasm drake? So I've heard. Rumors, I know. But if Motrax can live down here, why not other dragons? We know the Empire didn't kill them all. That's not quite what I wanted. Belinda said I should mention her name to you. The moment you say her name, he chokes on his sandwich, smiles ecstatically, rolls his eyes, breathes heavily, and gets a headache. Simultaneously. There are no words in his response, but he communicates an awful lot. I wonder if Belinda's been focusing on Mick long term, or if she cycles her attentions through various guards and other personnel, whoever's available. If Jeff has ever watched any of my videos, he has not commented on them. Okay, pool of water is nothing. That's a bunch of drakes. I hope I can handle this. Ow. Definitely time for Beast Ceremony. What? I can't cast it when hostile monsters are in sight? It takes too long to cast? Does that mean I can only use it in dungeons? Hello, friends and adventurers, and welcome to Salliekat Relearns How to Play Avernum. Lord, I can haste one person at a time, or I can slow everybody. I have not saved anywhere near recently enough. Oh no. Acid on you. Invulnerability potion could actually be worthwhile here. Okay, you have a wand of lightning, which is okay. Yes. Waste all your time summoning. Okay, wand of bolts, another scroll of acid. Shielding only shields one person. But I only need it to do so much. Then we've got wand of slowing, scroll create illusions. You know what? Well, this is going just horribly. Your party got instantly deleted. That's certainly one way to put it. I think I need to reload, and I am very afraid that my last save was at the very beginning of this episode. Guess what, everybody? You get to watch everything all over again. At least everything that I've done in the past 40 minutes. Though I'm not going to bother rereading all of the dialogue, so at least it'll go a little bit faster. Oh right, I actually have to do the things here. Yeah, for a moment there I thought the Drake fight was going sort of well, and then half my party got slaughtered. The role-playing game experience, everyone. Or or certainly the Dungeons and Dragons inspired role-playing game experience. The basilisks are dead. The people of Almeria will be grateful. Again. Why does it feel so much harder to navigate the foresty areas in isometric? Thanks for killing the basilisks, now get out. Here we go. A little harder to find things when they aren't marked by the little white circles. Don't need to revisit Silverlock because I don't intend on buying anything today. Yummy, delicious spells. Summon dragon. Oh yeah, supposedly dragon in the tunnels west of Fort Remote. Hey there, Zach. Should maybe visit Fort Saffron soonish as well. And we can get this guy's side quest. I'm sort of curious what happens if I attack. Let's choose the asshole option. You draw your weapons and charge. Unfortunately, he watched you approach and was ready to flee. He leaves his stuff and sprints away. He gets away from you easily. You search his supplies. Unfortunately, he left nothing of value. Just a bunch of empty sacks and breadcrumbs. So he really was running out of food. Also, my reputation decreased. Now I get to fill out my map for Fort Remote again! I'll have to make sure and save afterwards to make sure I keep this map filled out. I'm sure nothing would happen to cause me to lose this map again. Okay, this time, not poking the drakes. I think I see the fire lizards. Oh, I can do beast ceremony outdoors, apparently. So yeah, that thing I said about not poking the drakes... changed my mind. Sometimes it is faster to use the keyboard instead of trying to click all the individual things, especially when they're overlapping. Yeah, let's do some summons. I am vaguely annoyed that I can't choose the location of where my summons spawn, and also Nephils. That's the stronger monsters that I got, Nephilim. They are toast. Okay, Control Foe is not going to work. Divine Fire is probably not going to work well on drakes. Sanctuary could be really funny. Smite has been proven to be not that great. Yaha. So yeah, Sanctuary actually is kind of useful. It'll make the enemies waste turns on summoning and buffing themselves. Can they see me to slow me when I'm sanctuaried? That's a good question. What I could do is just attack and then recast Sanctuary every turn. Granted, having a staggered attack order like that could make things quite interesting. But I've already got one Drake dead, so I'm willing to play with it. Okay, we're just a little bit toasty, it's fine. Ow. Yeah, you can't hit me. Until I do something foolish like hit you. Apparently I'm still vulnerable to spells when I am sanctuaried. Drakes have ice breath. Interesting. Hey now, that's hardly fair. Now I have to re-up all my hasting. I could summon a shade, but it's just going to get wiped out in a turn or two. Although I think shades are immune to cold damage, so it might survive the ice breath. Shielding is pretty good. I could have put a blessing on Esme for her to actually use her Frost Enchanted Sword. But Esme is also slowed, so... Aw, goodbye, Shade. Let's use a cheap way to see how much fire damage you take. You actually do take some fire damage. To think I could have been using Fire Blast instead of Lightning this whole time. Well, that went a lot better. Something cornered this unfortunate soul at the end of this passage and blasted him or her into ashes. I suspect it was the Drake family we just killed. On the floor all around it are dollops of melted metal. A close look reveals one of the dollops is actually a crystal. And I get a potion? Ooh, Knowledge Brew. So instead of resting and using my food... Can I do a rest in Fort Remote? I don't think I entered a room that actually gave me that option. Oh, derp, there are more rooms back here. Several comfortable unused beds in this room. We'll rest for a few hours and regain all my health. And we will not steal someone else's coins. Not from a friendly installation, anyway. Okay, that's not lizards, but it is a thing that I have to go the long way around to find. You find a small outpost here, ruined and abandoned. There are a number of bodies inside. You inspect them. A group of soldiers in the shredded armor of the surface world tried to defend themselves here. They failed. Everything of value, that you can find anyway, has been looted long since. The outpost has been resting here abandoned for a few years now. Yet it is strange that the Empire is keeping a lookout. It is strange that the Empire was keeping a lookout here. You wonder what they were watching for, or protecting. Did anyone at Fort Remote know that there was an Empire outpost here? This body has been nearly reduced to ashes. The fire which slew this hapless soul also charred the floor and ceiling nearby. Everything of value has been picked away by fastidious reptilian claws. There you are. There's a group of large reddish lizards hunting the passages. They aren't very aggressive. They have the good sense to not force an encounter with you. Do you hunt them down? I have saved recently, even if I haven't done the beast ceremony. There's 8 of them, but they are significantly weaker than the drakes, and won't cast spells at me. Just fire. Okay, maybe I should be having my frontline fighters wearing the dragon skin cloaks for this one. Yeah, dragon skin cloak. Fairly effective. Come on now. Hooray, 1 down. I suppose I should be using my cold attack, but I'm just always so unimpressed by smite. Okay, that did crap damage, but it did kill 2 of them, so I'll take it. Okay, fire lizards are dead, and that is all I'm doing in this area for now. Okay, I think my stream is just reconnected. I killed those lizards you told me about. Oh, did you? Well, we'll sleep a little easier now, I think. You'll sleep a lot easier since I also killed those drakes nearby. She pulls a sack of coins out of her pocket and hands it to you. There you are, a reward. Part of our annual adventurer budget. I'm amused that, Avernum forts get annual adventurer budgets. She also serves you several rounds of her fine ale, the special occasion stuff. In the end, you feel well rewarded. I wish there was more you could do. Everything out here is quiet, and I think it always will be. She shakes her head. I'm wasting my life. Okay. I don't feel like fighting you again. Not when you don't drop any loot. There is one single soldier over there. You meet a patrol of Avernum soldiers, watching the roads through this desolate and abandoned area. They greet you. Their commander says, "Welcome, friends. Always good to see friendly faces out here. If you find yourselves in need of a meal and a good bed, Fort Remote is to the southwest. They're always glad to help travelers in need." Yes, indeed they are. That little house is nothing, just a farm. And again, the manic high-pitched laughter. I think those signs were telling us to beware of gremlins, but they can't be all that bad, can they? Saves game.
Anyone attempting to steal our gold will be messed up.
The maze of the gremlins. Yeah, I enjoy having high leadership and or mechanics in Geneforge. Yeah, apparently Gremlins is a Christmas movie? I did not realize that. You have entered a strange structure. Its walls dug carefully out of the dirt and covered with a strange, smooth, waxy substance. From the darkness within, you hear scraping noises and the occasional burst of manic laughter. Occasionally, you also hear something that sounds like a scream. You hope that's not what it is. Also, unlike the original version of this game, this dungeon does show up in the map. It's still very mazy, and I'm going to be getting confuse rays at various points. Oh dear. Ow! I better do a bit of unshackling of minds here. You. Go away. Clear out a little inventory space, why not? The gremlins do at least go down in one hit. Ooh, boxes. Coins. A rather small amount of coins for this gold coin graphic. Just like gremlins to be tricksy like that. Githa does have a bit more intelligence than Jay does, which probably does help with resisting of mind-clouding attacks. So yeah, int plus magic, int plus mage plus priest plus luck. Okay, cool. Anyway. Being confused doesn't mean I automatically attack my party members. It just means there's a pretty good chance of it happening. Empty space. Empty space with nothing in it. That's a bit of a redundant phrase. Oh, hi. Ow. Possibly I should come back here after doing a little more training. I don't know. I'm not always getting charmed. Oh no, I have enough spells that double tapping the M button does something really stupid. No, I don't want to attack the summon, even if I could kill him in one hit. Though it does amuse me to have goblins on the loose in the Gremlin Cave. Oh, I can't reach that chest. It's on a platform with no stairs. There's a portal there. Son of a crap. Yeah, maybe I'll train up some intelligence and spell skills and come back in another time. What else can I do in this region? I can finish exploring this bit of wall. That's a lot of skeletons. And that is some eye beasts. Bone corridors. Yeah, I'm doing a beast ceremony here. Hostile mon- They're not in sight, they're around the corner. Come on now. Seriously? Oh, those are monsters. Soldiers and assassins. I believe these are bandits. Also, Avernum, why are you putting my frontline fighters in the back? Come on. Wait, I did buy Fire Blast, didn't I? I have Fire Blast. I need more mage spells to be able to cast it. Well, isn't that a kick in the pants? Mostly stuff that's not really worth looting. Steel short sword is, though. How long does Beast Ceremony last, anyway? Hey there, Cadu. You walked by a lot of bones while walking back here. In this secluded niche in the wall, you find what put them there. Several insubstantial beings float down from the ceiling and attack you. Okay, so instead of being an orb with lots of tentacles and eyes, these eye beasts are insubstantial blobby things with lots of eyes. They are also capable of paralyzing me. Wonderful. Oh, they're also immune to energy attacks. But 2 Divine Fires does the trick. Oh, what? No loot? No loot whatsoever? Sadness. We do, however, have the Tower of Patrick nearby. Oh, there's a band of bandits here. They don't attempt to bother you. The simple reason for that is they are attacking a group of merchants which they've trapped here in this corner. We can't be having that now, can we? Oh, no, you're not a bandit, you're an allied soldier. I kinda wish that they didn't use the same sprite for friendly soldiers and bandit soldiers. It's usually easy enough to tell who's on my side and who's not. Usually. Okay, I think all the enemies are dead. Dropping somewhat more coins than the last group of bandits. Stone short swords, oof. The merchants are very grateful for your help. As they bandage their wounded, one of them gives you a small pouch. It contains a scroll. It's not a very good reward, but most of their supplies were destroyed in the attack. What do you mean, not a very good reward? That's a scroll of Fire Blast. I love Fire Blast. Also, hello Ian! Glad to have you joining us for some chill time with fantasy violence. Tower of Patrick, all seekers of knowledge welcome. Now I could do my usual perimeter check here, but that would take a little longer than I really want to spend. Patrick's chamber. Oh, so we can directly talk to the main guy himself. A tired and bent old man sits in the throne. His rich robes hang loosely from his thin frame. He seems very weary and alone. Are you in charge of this fine tower? He sighs. Yes, I am. Once I fought. Then I built. Now I just wait. What did you fight? His gaze grows distant. Oh, that was long ago. I was one of a group of magi who formed this society, who made it possible. We first had to defeat the demon Greyhoth. I helped lead the attack. I helped seal him in Akranath, his prison. think there's some back and forth on whether Akranath is Greyhoth's original fort, his prison, or his new fort. Either that or I'm just remembering it badly. Oh, it doesn't matter. Not anymore. He's gone, and his foul fort lies in ruin and sealed forever. I would like to know where his prison is, for reasons. His prison is far to the west of Fort Spire. It is called Salliekat. Yeah, see, just a moment ago, you said his prison was Akranath. This is what happens when you have basically one person working on an entire game script. Sometimes little details get a little fuzzy. You will have to pass through the abyss to reach it. There are many traps and guardians on the way. Ah yes, an unpleasant memory. That was Greyhoth's fortress. It is east of here and west of the Tower of Magi, beyond much lava. We sealed it after it was destroyed. Many horrors are trapped inside that dire fort. Are there any treasures in Akranath? There is little but ruin and rubble. Oh, and a royal seal of the Empire. One of the warriors trapped there had one. If you had a use for such a thing, it would be there. I would help you, but first, I am desperate, and there is something I need. You must cure my wife of her disease, and I will tell you how to enter Akranath. Okay then. You're a wizard. Could you train us? I am far past my apprentice-taking years. I am old and tired. I cannot help you. Even so, your tower is an amazing place. Is it not? It was truly an effort to assemble all of these books and scrolls. People come here from all over Avernum to learn about magic, about history, about the sciences. This tower is the center of civilization in Avernum. I was one of the triad that ruled the Tower of Magi for many years. We, and those under us, wrote most of the books of magic you will find in the libraries down here, pouring forth our memories of magical secrets onto crude, handmade paper. Thanks to that task, our art flourishes down here. I also led some research. I was part of the first triad, with Erica and Solberg. But Solberg is gone now. Nobody knows where he is. I do. Erica left to plot her revenge on those on the surface. And I came here. His empty gaze suddenly focuses, and he looks at you intently. I did research on things that can bring great danger to know. Is there a particular thing you seek? Not at the moment. Well, if you're ever trying to figure something out, be sure to return. And waiting. For my wife to pass on. She has a slow wasting disease. She is very ill. If she was given some grey mold salve, it would cure her. But I haven't seen any of it for a very long time. You take note of this. If someone could cure her, I would reward them well. But until a miracle happens, we all just wait. Okay. Well, we have the recipe for grey mold salve, but I have not found the grey mold just yet. This door is locked. And that's back out into the entryway. Okay, looks like bedchambers. Occupied chambers. Library of Avernum. Locked? Why are all the doors locked? tall young man sits in this chair. He seems ill. Do you work in the tower here? I've been sick for a while, but usually I'm one of Patrick's apprentices. What ails you? I have the flu. I'll be fine in a while. It's a terrible inconvenience. I get fevers and headaches and stuff, and I'm not allowed near the scrolls. I was doing research. Did you know that a crystal shield helps against basilisks, but a crystal wand helps against undead? I was researching about the uses of various crystals. They're really, really versatile. There's several sorts. Piercing crystals destroy magical barriers. Unshackling crystals free the minds of those nearby from charming and similar effects. Recall crystals are the most wonderful of all. They enable one to safely travel 1,000 miles in an instant. Wow. Are there any recall crystals in this game? I don't actually know. Because Word of Recall, the spell, wasn't introduced until Exile 2. We've heard of very strange, powerful crystals that have been found in these caves. Yes, they're small and blue, and when you stare into them, they teach you things. They're very rare and powerful, but we have no idea who created them. Do they do anything else? Well, I knew one mage who took one to the portal at Fort Avernum. He was going to try to use the crystal's power to reverse the portal's direction. Didn't work. The fellow told me he barely survived the experiment, and that he left the crystal behind at the fort. He wanted nothing more to do with it. He said he hid it at the base of a statue. I don't know any more about that. You take note of this. Could we wrap this up soon? I'm sorry, but I need to return to my rest. And you did kind of barge into my bedroom. Not to worry, it's merely a flu. I'll be better soon enough. I'm pretty sure someone else already told us about that crystal, so might have already found it. You look interesting. Talking to Angie. A young woman with short, bright yellow hair walks around the room. She looks at scroll after scroll. She's looking for something, and she's annoyed that she isn't finding it. She stops for a bit. I'm looking for accounts of the first expedition. There are certain items they brought with them which I'd like to find. If, of course... She coughs. Twice. If my health permits. You seem ill. She coughs. It's the cave. All the dampness, gives me a terrible cough. Sounds awful. You don't know the half of it. She sneezes. All the mold also makes me sneeze, and the chill makes my joints ache. Oh, how I cough. Poor thing. What about this first expedition? The first humans who came down here, they were slaughtered. Don't you know your history? Well, apparently not, and I'd like to hear it again. What killed them? Arrogance, mostly. They split up to explore. The dragon Motrax killed some. Sliths others. Some just starved. The Empire decided that it was lethal down here. That's when it started exiling people to these caves. Also, I'm not sure if Motrax killed them directly or just tossed them out of his cave to their certain deaths of exposure and other unfriendly monsters. What sort of items did this first expedition bring? What I'm mainly looking for is information about Smite. That's a giant-slaying spear. There's a lot of trouble with the giants to the north. Finding it would be really valuable. Alright then. And of course the guards tell me nothing. A black man with very short hair and clothes made for easy traveling sits at the table. He's reading a scroll, but he sets it aside when you approach. What you looking at? He holds up the scroll for you to see. I'm from Formalo, but I came down here to read this scroll. It's a recipe for a special potion that almost, but didn't quite work. I hope to improve it. Then I'm going to go to the Mage's Tower and try to learn how to make grey mold salve. He looks you over. I've also been doing some teaching. I know some recipes I could teach you, for a small fee. Grey mold salve is an incredibly strong healing potion. It cures disease and damage equally well. The main alchemist in the Tower of Magi, I've heard, knows how to make it. I forget his name, but I'm going there next. Grey mold makes an excellent curative. Okay, I can learn Energy Elixir and Strength Elixir. Energy Elixir is potentially useful. would take most of my gold. Where did all these books come from? Many places. They were put into the teleporter down here. They were smuggled. Some of them were written by us. Some are copies of books on the surface, copied from memory. Creating this library was quite an accomplishment. Books? Pah! All you need to prosper is a strong arm and a strong sword. Yeah, that is not my attitude at all. We are impressed, truly. I love books. Thank you very much. There's a series of small bookshelves here, protected by thin sheets of glass. The glass must have been brought down from the surface. Seeing actual books again is a surprisingly moving sight. They're incredibly rare down here. This tome is a fairly simple spellbook. It's mainly here to provide training in the less complicated magical rituals. All of your mages who don't know them learn the first 6 mage spells. Yay. Also, I should definitely be searching some of these bookshelves. I think I can find interesting things on these bookshelves. Now there's a scroll of lightning spray that is not mine. Now, this game did come out in either late 1999 or early 2000, I think. Again, why are the doors locked? Not even magically locked. The desk contains standard stationery, pens, etc. You search more carefully and find a button underneath one of the shelves. I've not been told about that button, so I'm going to leave it alone for now. Aha! This library is filled with scrolls. All of them are written on leather and crude paper. Of the sort made down here. The words painstakingly formed with mold inks. Though they are crude, that they are here at all, and in such quantity, is amazing. Okay, so maybe instead of nifty tidbits of lore being found on the bookshelves, I just read them off the pedestals. These large books are catalogues, describing in some detail the contents of Patrick's libraries. Since you aren't looking for any particular books, it isn't very useful. Fine. This tome is a work in progress. It's about the rule of King Micah, wise and popular first king of Avernum. It describes his leadership when driving the demons from Avernum, clearing it for human occupation. It lists his accomplishments in banding the humans together, inspiring them to build a nation out of the darkness. It covers the 40 years of Micah's rule, and, of course, since Micah is still alive, it isn't done yet. Micah's lived a pretty long while for someone in Avernum. The book seems surprisingly honest, and even sometimes critical. Having only seen the sort of books that Emperor Hawthorne allows on the surface, this is very surprising. Yeah, I suppose so. I never played a lot of console games myself, and Jeff was smart enough to create Windows ports of the Exiles. Particularly with Exile 3, I think got him some decent exposure. Ah, Rita. Young blonde woman sits at the table, reading intently. Books are stacked all around her. She smiles broadly. I've been honored with the privilege of studying under Patrick in his libraries. I read in an attempt to advance my research. It goes slowly, but I have great hopes for it. It's been difficult, as Patrick hasn't been involved in the work. His wife, Hathwyza, is gravely ill. She's been so for some time, and when she dies, I don't think Patrick will live long either, and we'll all be on our own. Could we help cure her? Perhaps. You should speak with Patrick about that. What you're researching? Magical items. There are a few of these down here, but several sorts of magical charms have been found, and I'm trying to tell what they do. I'm working on a certain necklace now. It's slow work, but I keep at it. She starts looking around. I've written a paper on several other sorts of necklaces. It's here somewhere. Which necklace are you looking into right now? The crystal necklace is a powerful artifact, well known in the world above. It protects the wearer from the deadly stoning effect of the basilisk, a remarkable item. Aha! A slim journal titled On My Searches for the Orb of Thralney, a brief section. So I knew that the orb could indeed enable me to fly. All but the mightiest chasms and rivers could be crossed with arrogant ease. But where was it? My best guess was the Waterfall Warren, a dangerous nest of rapids west of Fort Dranlawn. Alas, my search came to an end here. My limited resources would be of no avail against the creatures there. So I moved on. I set my sights toward a much easier to attain goal, the Lost Blade Demon Slayer. I believe I shall find it with ease. Oh, you poor deluded fool. What's easier to find than one obscure artifact, but 3 artifacts scattered all over the map? Yeah, I don't know if I had the same 1000 Games disc, but I definitely had a few discs with various games on them, and played the shareware demos of Exiles 1, 2, and 3, and also Blades. And also Avernum. So I've gone from asking my mom to call Spiderweb Software and mail them a check or write money order or whatever it was, to 25 years later, buying the games for myself on the internet with Steam and Kickstarter. Anyway, still haven't found that scroll about necklaces. Ooh, Dispel Barrier. But I can't steal it because there's too many guards. Okay, maybe there's just not much I can gain on the bookshelves in here. Oh, that's Patrick again. Is there anything in this little... Yes, there is. Tiny hidden storeroom. With herbs. And lockpicks. And torches. None of which I want right now. Oh man, chat's been moving. A soldier with one leg and a bitter, angry expression hobbles about the halls. He supports himself with a polished cavewood cane. Are you part of the guard contingent, Captain Granby? I'm the captain of the Tower Guard. Big honor, huh? You don't sound too honored? He gives you an ugly smile. It's my big reward. Years of service above ground, but someone wants my post, plays a few tricks, and gets me down here. Join the army down here, lead a charge on the Nephilim fort, and... He looks at his leg. I end up at the tower. The Tower of Patrick. Far away from anything important and everything interesting. Guarding books. Books! Oh, just go away. I'm sick of all of you. Yaha. Marco, the chef. A big, beefy guy with a flushed face bustles around. He's stirring something up in a big bowl. What you cooking? I'm making dinner right now. He proffers the bowl. Want a taste? He gives you a spoonful of some sort of pasta sauce. It tastes hideous. Marco notes your reaction. Not quite there yet. I'm having trouble with the ingredients. I was a cook on the surface before my mouth landed me down here. Since then, I've been trying to make a good pasta sauce, but I just can't seem to get the ingredients to make it work. If someone could bring me a decent oil or some garlic. Well, I'm just dreaming. He looks eager to return to his work. Yeah, there are times that substitutions just don't work as well as you want them to. I've tried a pumpkin-based pasta sauce, and as much as I like pumpkin in other settings, that pasta sauce did not work for me. Delivery entrance. And door's locked again. Yeah, there's not a lot else that I can do in Patrick's Tower right now. I know what's in this corner, but we need Grey Mold Salve to properly access it. No game, that's not actually what I wanted. Cave slimes. The cave slime took 61 points of damage and didn't die? Oh boy. I should definitely be heading north for things like Grey Mold Salve and the Orb of Thralny. Have I explored Fort Emerald and Blosk yet? That's a no on Fort Emerald. Also a no on Blosk. And I am starting to run out of steam here. Subterranean schooling. Well, I was thinking of doing some more training quite soon. And everybody's gained at least one level. Okay, so the trainees and the audience don't want to talk to me, but this guy will. Bartholomew. A busy man teaches finer points of weaponry to a group of people. Some civilians, some soldiers. He seems good at it. He continues going through the motions of attack and defense. If you'd like to train, please wait. I'll be with you shortly. Not much to say there. A little bit more priest spells and her willpower will go up. What do I even do with you, Jay? Not enough skill points to improve Esme's mage spells, but didn't I get a knowledge brew at some point? Did. Hehehe. Esme feels much smarter. Ooh, 5 whole skill points. Yes. Also, I'm glad that I actually had enough gold to do all the training that I wanted. I am running quite low again. Small bakery. Or possibly a large bakery. This is a tall, thin woman. She's covered from head to toe in fine, light gray mushroom flour. She sneezes. Blosk is mainly a farming town. The farms nearby bring their mushrooms here to be dried and turned to flour. That seems very important to the future good health of Avernum. Yeah, she sneezes, coughs, and sneezes again. This job doesn't seem to agree with her. Well, important to the sustenance of Avernum, and, mediocre health. We can buy some mushroom flour if we really wanted to. Demel sells large sacks of mushroom flour, which goes from here to all the largest cities in Avernum. You look rather dirty. She sneezes heartily in response. Yeah, this is a nice bit of world building. It's not so useful for adventurers. But I like things like that. I like games to be more than just make numbers go up. Ah, city wall. Bruce the Fletcher, fine arrows and other missiles. A heavy, middle-aged man with a disorganized beard puts fletching on arrows behind the counter. His fingers work with unerring skill and speed. Well, I run this little supply shop. You can purchase arrows, and I think I have some other stuff too. You'll excuse me for being disorganized. Things have been hectic here. Fort Emerald buys my arrows as fast as I can make them. It's hard work with lousy materials, but it beats being on the surface. I spent every minute of every day making arrows for the idiot nobles in their stupid tournaments. Playing games with first-class weapons. Well, one of them told me what he thought of my art, and I told him what I thought of him. A week later, I'm down here, but at least my arrows are getting the use they deserve. Ooh, he's got some pretty good arrows indeed. Ooh, steel bolts and steel javelins. I do not have the money to be spending here right now. Also, I can't sell anything. But that's fine. There's a forge. There's a heavy-set woman with black hair cascading down her back. She's working at a large anvil. She has to take great pains to keep her hair from the sparks. Is this your forge? You bet. This is my shop. I can't talk much. I'm very busy, supplying the fort, you know. But I can sell you some surplus. I am, I'm afraid, the main source for new weapons and repairs for Fort Emerald. It's a big job. The Sliths attack there constantly. But I don't mind. It's making me rich. Now excuse me. She turns to start pounding on a spearhead. Her hair catches on fire. She puts it out. I can sell things here. Nothing I feel like buying. Ooh, drakeskin armor. If I had quite a lot more money, perhaps. Yeah, she sells pretty good stuff. Silver necklace I don't need. bolts, bolts, ice. Wait, Megrad, why aren't you wearing your extra jewelry? Come on now. I am significantly less poor, but I still can't afford that drakeskin armor. Oh, right, you don't need the crystal charm because you had the crystal shield. Well, is there anything else I wanted to talk to you about? Ah, you must use a lot of iron to make all these weapons. Yes, I do. In fact, I need some fine ore from Fort Draco to make some special, high-quality blades. If you could bring me some, I would pay 25 cents per sack. Oh, well, I bet you could buy some in Fort Draco, far to the northeast. If I feel like, doing supply runs, then I could do that to make some money. Nice forest area here. And someone's bedroom. Okay. I feel like someone got a little mixed up with where the garden supplies and the bedroom should go here. And there's no one interesting in the barracks. A mill to go along with the bakery. Many sacks of meal. The back door to the inn. Leith, all trades. There's a tall, thin young man with very long blonde hair sitting behind the desk. He holds a tattered scroll. What are you up to? Oh, this and that. There's a demand for many different things here near the front, and I try to provide all of them. I just got some rations in. I'm an amateur sage. I can make torches. I'm an excellent musician, and for 5 gold I'll sing for you. He leaps lustily into a bawdy song of almost mind-bending proportions. The air flickers blue. What can a sage do? Well, for 100 gold, I found what a certain obscure wand does. And I can identify items. I'm pretty good at it. Oh, I forgot. You can sell me things. I can always find a buyer for stuff. Tell me about that unusual wand. Well, Koronos is the god of the hunt. The wand of Koronos is a wand to use during the hunt, to make your prey more fierce and challenging. Interesting, huh? 100 gold, please. You pay him. Hey, Garnet. Finally, you make an appearance. Greetings, we are adventurers. Oh, well, there is something you could do for me then. A business message of great importance. There's a merchant named Shani living to the west. Tell her that if she can get 100 pounds of leather here soon, we can both profit handsomely. I'm sure she'll pay you when she gets the message. Alrighty then. What is that scroll you're looking at? Nothing magical, adventurers. Simply a historical account of some small interest to me. And the supply... Ooh, he sells magic lockpicks. Not really sure I want to buy magic lockpicks between Githa's ridiculously high lockpicking stat and Esme's ability to magically unlock things. Also some elixirs. Alright, nifty. A woman wearing the robes of a priestess sits at the table, getting drunk in a most unholy manner. Pardon, Lady Priestess, but why do you drink in such a manner? What else is a wandering warrior supposed to do when employment is absent? I can only worship so many hours of the day, you know. When I don't serve the faith, I am human like you. Why don't you join us? We're adventurers. She looks you over, unimpressed. All right, I could use a band of fellow fighters, but I suspect that my skill far exceeds yours. No offense. I'll tell you what. You kill the Gap Drake in the pit west of Fort Remote, and I'll join you. We haven't killed it yet, but I bet we could. Sure you could. Why don't you? When you succeed, I'll be here. She takes a big swig of ale. Okay, then. Yeah, so Sabrina is another NPC who can join the party, once you kill the Chasm Drake. I'm not entirely convinced she's worth it, because by the time I'm able to kill that Drake, I'm pretty far into the game. Oh, hi, Angelique, and thank you! Glad to help you find some secrets. Sure, be my guest. The sedentary life wasn't for me. I'm an adventurer, much as you. I'd rather not talk about my adventures. I see. Yeah, Sabrina is part of the adventuring party that went and challenged the Chasm Drake and got mostly horribly killed. I can see why she wouldn't want to talk about that. Oh no, I've let the innkeeper/mayor loose. Where has she gone? You there, beggar, can you tell me? Woman in a tattered dress thrusts out a bowl at you. Her breath smells of mushroom ale. Need some coins to buy more ale? Ah, how else can I forget the pain of living in this wretched land? Give me a coin and I'll tell you my story. Alright, I'll bite. 1 coin's cheap. Thanks! Yeah, things were tough for me on the surface, so I began getting into the wine. Before long, I couldn't stop. Still can't. They didn't like that up there, so they sent me down here, where they wouldn't see me. For 10 gold, I'll tell you more. Still cheaper than learning about the Wand of Karanos. They sent me down into Avernum, and I came here. That's it. You're pathetic. You should pull yourself together. Maybe there's a way to cure your addiction. Can we help? And you should mind your own business. She walks away. But it didn't affect my reputation. Yay. Yep. Always talk to the innkeepers. Oh, where did she go? Oh, and occasionally, one of the soldiers in the inn will also talk to you. A gangly man dressed in loose-fitting red clothes stands at the bar drinking calmly. He seems not to have noticed you. Keeping an eye on things. I've heard of you. He speaks very quietly. We've been watching you, but waiting for you to approach us. Calder, in the abyss, to the northwest. That's who you should talk to. About the scimitar, that is. That's all I can say. Can we buy you a drink? You pay 10 coins for a round of mushroom ale. It's quite good. I've lost the mayor. What's this? Small sign says, private, keep out. Interesting. Also, I thought this was a cat, but it's actually a kid. Talking to Jeff. There's a small boy in ratty clothes. He's an energetic little fellow. He seems barely able to stop moving. He holds a stick in his hand, which he uses to engage in imaginary sword play. I wonder if this is if this is how Jeff Vogel was as a child. Having fun? Yeah, I love playing wizards and sliths. He looks down at his clothes, ratty and 2 sizes too small. Dad won't let me play in my real clothes because he says they're tough to make. Can I have a coin? Sure. He smiles. Woohoo, thanks, now I can get some candied mushrooms. Who's your dad? Leith is my daddy. He does lots of neat stuff. He looks sad for a moment. Mom is at Fort Emerald. She's fighting. I miss her. That's a nice little sword you got there. Thanks. I'm gonna have a real one someday. I'll make Avernum run ankle deep with the blood of its enemies. The kid seems like a natural-born adventurer. This room is trapped. I don't need to steal whatever's in here. Mayor, oh Mayor, where have you gone? There you are. There's a short blonde woman tending the bar, or taking a break to walk around outside, as the case may be. You wouldn't give her a second look, except that her clothes are very fine and delicate, and she wears a purple sash. This tends to signify that one is the mayor. What are your offerings at this inn? We have fine rooms for the night, only 10 gold. And we have dinner and a drink for 2. That's how I run my inn. She smiles. I'm also the mayor, but I'm sure adventurers such as yourselves wouldn't be interested. Not at all. Mayors are always interesting. They're often great sources of side quests. Ah, yes, these times call for clear heads, and the townsfolk judged me the clearest head about. It's not a bad job. It takes a lot of time, and I need to hire a replacement to look after the bar when I go to the castle, but I like it fine overall. She starts washing out some mugs. It's to the southeast. I'm surprised you didn't see it. It's the biggest building in Avernum. Why do you go there? For meetings of the council. She looks at you strangely. And don't go asking me for a royal token. The king is looking for adventurers to go on some mission, and I'm not going to be a party to it. Adventurers are loose cannons, hotheads. If there's anything we need now, it's clear heads. The army is fine. Adventurers? Nope. Would you have any noble quests for us? Not a one. We run an efficient town here. We don't need to stoop to getting help from random strangers. No offense. Fine then. She places bowls of hot stew and hearty chunks of bread before you. Then she brings large mugs of delicious mushroom ale. It's an excellent meal. After reading some of the descriptions of mushroom beer earlier in the game, is the ale here really that good, or are we just getting used to it? I believe that's all I can do in Blosk for now. Blosk is silly. I can only enter and exit from the north and south. Shani is a... Oh. Word of my adventures has spread. The Avernum soldiers recognize me and greet me eagerly. Neat. Anyway, Shani's Bazaar is not a far walk. You tell her you have a message for her. She takes it and reads it. After a moment, she looks up at you. She seems annoyed. You couldn't have gotten this to me faster? This was a business matter. Urgent. We could make a fortune, Leith and I, if it isn't too late. Well, I suppose I'd better reward you. I have some old magical scrolls. You could look them over if you wanted. You might be able to learn something. Or you could do some shopping. Ah. Now I know mass curing level 3. I can cure all the things! This way to Shani's Bazaar, something for everyone, many wondrous things. And that's just a bunch of giant lizards. And I will explore Fort Saffron also, but not today. If I remember correctly, I think I've left the boat nearer to Almeria. Yes, here it is. So I do want to explore Fort Emerald, but for ease of later exploration, I want to take the boat around. Yeah, you can have multiple boats. You can only pilot one at a time, of course, but you can buy multiple boats from the same town and have 2 or 3 on the same body of water. Especially good when you've completely forgotten where you parked a boat and have to go get another one. But anyway, stream's running a little long, so I'm going to call it here, and next time I stream, whenever that may be, I will pick it up at Fort Emerald. So probably going to stream this again sometime early next week, like Monday or Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. Schedules tend to be a little bit more chaotic in December. And good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And good night and farewell to everyone listening to this on a later playback. Have a good one, everybody.